as well. All right, so there we go. So
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. Good
so
afternoon.
I started it late, but early to the show, and I'm very excited. She caught us outside of her gym the other day, so we were a little nervous about having Jessica on. I think she's in the room, isn't she? Yeah, she's in the room. Jessica, how are you?
What's up? Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I'd rather be early than late any
Uh,
day.
and I'm that way too. And I was so worried about it, I did forget to hit the go live. So we are live now. Before we talk about what's coming up in a couple of weeks, talk to us a little bit about you, about your background. Some people know, some people don't, but they're definitely going to know in a couple of weeks.
Man, it's a wild story. But to sum it up, I was raised in domestic violence. I was continuing the domestic violence with spouses, exes, whatever. Started MMA just for defense and fell in love. It became what I felt like I was meant to do. I have a lot of pent up stuff inside me that you get to see whenever I fight. I'm a fairly nice person, I think, originally, but there's a side of me that I get to release in there, and it's my portal. It's what keeps me sane, I feel like. So it's just been a huge journey from MMA, going on that 8 years before I started BKFC. I actually got out of my Bellator contract with Bellator to do my first BKFC fight, and I just fell in love. It's way more my style, way more my aggression can speak, and it's just where I belong.
I
This is what
always,
I've been saying.
I always ask all of the fighters, and after meeting you a couple days ago, try to explain to me, the team, the worldwide audience that's listening, how you can turn that on and turn it off. I mean, you seemed like when I met you, the sweetest person I've ever met. And then when I watch some of your videos, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, honestly, it's something that you have to learn. I didn't do very well at the beginning. Well, I was not a bad MMA fighter. It wasn't a bad fighter. It's just controlling your mind is a huge thing, and people don't understand how much time and effort you have to put into to being able to control that. And people still look at my old stuff, I think, and think that I am a loose cannon. I don't like being touched, obviously. Everyone sees this, like, don't disrespect me, don't touch me. Everyone knows that it's like a universal thing. You don't touch somebody before we're paid to touch each other. But other than that, like, I've put a lot of time and effort into calming that chaos and controlling the chaos instead of fighting it. And it's done a world of difference for me, honestly.
There's a lot of people who feel that way. I consider a legend, and everybody on the team knows I hate that word legend, Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp could be the nicest guy, but don't touch him. And he's always said, I don't know you. If you're coming to get a picture, don't touch me. I don't know you.
It's a respect thing. It's I don't deal with disrespect, and I won't allow anyone to disrespect me. That's part of the healing process too. Like, if you're healing from anything and you're working on yourself, you're not going to tolerate anything more than what you used to, if not way less. And I do way less. Like, I don't tolerate people to disrespect me, or I know my worth.
Do you think your fans sometimes though it's a tough thing. I mean, I've been in the television business here in the Tampa Bay area, and so I'll have people come up and want. I don't like to be touched either, but it's kind of that fine line where I know they're just being friendly and they like me or they watch me, so I kind of just suck it up and like.
That's different. Yeah, that's different. Me, I'm actually a big hugger and stuff like that. That kind of touching is okay. Like, in my opinion, unless they get too grabby, because then there's a fine line.
Well, and let me jump in just for a second. And I was going to say that. I mean, it's friendly until it's not.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
when it's not, it's too late.
Yep. And everyone should know that there's a fine line between, like, you're doing too much or being friendly. So,
Yeah. But Warren doesn't like it at all, right, Randy? He doesn't even want fans coming up and touching him, right?
Well, that's fans. But again, friends, like every time I see Warren, he hugs me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it is different when a stranger comes up to somebody, somebody that's, he considers us family and that kind of stuff. But you don't know. So, yeah, I don't like to be touched by people I don't know. And Matt.
yeah. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I really hate when you have tattoos, they just grab your arm and, oh my God, let me see this. Like, that's not why I got tattoos. That's not why I wanted tattoos. That's not, I don't feel like that's okay. You can kind of ask someone if can I look at your tattoos? But I mean, I don't know. Common sense ain't so common these days. So,
So, Jessica, with that being said, is there a line in trash talking? I mean, is there personal boundaries that people need to respect in the fight game?
I do think people get way carried away with wanting to impress the crowd, like my opponent coming up. But there's a fine line. I think there's a place and time to talk about certain things. There's a place and time to do certain things. There's a private life. There's a public life. Not that I'm shy about any of it. Everyone knows that. But I think there's a time to talk about it. You know, if there's kids present, shut your mouth. You know, there's things to talk about and things not to. I do think people get carried away with that fine line of don't disrespect my family, don't disrespect people that I love, that kind of thing. Because I'll literally, I am way more defensive with them than I am myself.
Where is this hatred? Is that the right word? With you and Christina? I mean, and a lot of times being involved in the combat world as long as I have, sometimes it's fake and sometimes it's real, but you don't really know the difference.
Yeah. A lot of people think that it's fake. It is not fake between her and I. It has never been fake between her and I. Just like with my other opponent, my last opponent, that wasn't fake either. I didn't like her either. But there's reasons why. The disrespect started when I offered her the fight with Hardy. She wants to say it was because my coaches and my husband and everyone was defending me and saying things that upset her. They wouldn't have said anything that upset her if she wasn't the one that did what she did first. So she wants to play the victim role. I can't stand that. Don't play the victim after you caused the situation. I offered her the fight with Hardy when that fell through, like after Hardy got injured. Now she's not able to fight anymore. I had literally just fought 2 weeks prior, and I offered to still cut to because she was fighting Hardy at 35 for the Queen of Violence title, which there isn't a Queen of Violence at the moment, but she likes to call herself that. Anyway, but I offered the fight. She wouldn't take it. I even offered to cut weight to 140 after just cutting weight and fighting 2 weeks prior. She didn't take it. She said, "Oh, you're not even on my level." Just started insults. I'm like, all right. So that's what started it. It just got worse from there. It just escalated to what it is now.
How excited are you for next month?
Oh, I can't even begin to tell you how I love being underestimated, and she is highly underestimating me, just like my last opponent did. But it fuels me in a different way. It it makes me like hyper focus in a way that's even more deadly than I already feel like I am. So, and I just get to showcase everything that I'm learning. I'm consistent whether I'm in fight camp or not. I fight and train as if I'm in fight camp all the time. I train consistently. I don't have off seasons. So I continuously just get better, and I'm still new in this sport. So you can see from the first fight to my third, which there's not much on the second and third fight, I know, but you can see the progression and everything that I'm learning with my team. And my coaches are incredible. I'm blessed to be able to showcase, keep continuing to show who I am.
Before Matt, you ask your question, and now's a perfect time to ask. Since you just mentioned those last 2 fights, how quick it was. Talk about your relationship with Sean and Tim Sylvia at Get Slapped.
Oh, I love them. I'm so happy to be on board with them, and I have got to know them as people, and they're like big brothers to me. I couldn't be happier to be a part of the team and grow with them because they're just good people, and that's what this is all about. You meet good people and you stick with them. The loyalty is everything, and it's the same with them. So I really respect that, and I respect them.
So if Sean's your big brother, that means Tim has to be your big brother.
Big, the biggest brother.
Yeah.
I know you think Ben Rothwell's big, and then like they stand next to each other, and you're like, Jesus.
No kidding. Go ahead, Matt.
So just like, okay, so your fight camp is loyalty. I have a question. Like Randy and I came, we did a little parody where we were trying to sneak in and get tips on your training camp and find out what's going on and what makes Shift MMA, produce world champions out of an industrial warehouse in the middle of Tampa, Florida. Why? How? But is that a concern in today's modern fight camps? Do you guys worry about trolls or spies or people trying to get sneak in and pretend to be loyal, but they're giving information back to the other camps?
I think that's always going to be part of the game. Unfortunately, the whole
That's
loyalty
life.
thing.
It's life.
It's life. No matter what you're doing, there's going to be those people. I think that if you, with us in particular, our coaches aren't worried about it because everyone knows that I have a good right hand. But is it stopping anyone? Like, is it stopping anyone from stopping me? Is like what I'm saying. Like, no. Like, if you're that good, they can know what your best game is, and you still beat them. So I don't think that we're concerned with that at all. Honestly, it is what it is. They know what we're capable of, and they keep pushing us to get better. So I don't think we're worried about that at all.
All right, so my last question before turn it back over to Randy. So I like to get to know people, like, where they identify from. Like Randy was hatched in Philadelphia, but he pays rent in Pinellas County. So where is Jessica Borga? Where do you identify with? Because I'm gonna put you on the map behind me. I'm gonna thumbtack it, and that's your people. That's your community. That's where you're from. So I know you're fighting out of Tampa, Florida, but where is Jessica Borga from?
Uh, Polk County, man.
Polk County. Yeah.
Right.
Shout out Sheriff
Like-
Grady Judd.
Grady Judd ain't messing with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's if anyone knows Polk County, you know Polk County. I mean, it's a good and bad thing, but it definitely you get tough around here, that's for sure.
Well, if you're going to say it, you don't say if anybody doesn't know about Polk County. Like Matt said, you just mentioned Sheriff Grady, and people
yeah.
know that guy.
Yep, yeah. I mean, we run out of bullets around here. He's not scared. He said, "Hey, if you do something stupid, that's on you, because you're in Polk County. Almost everyone's carrying around here." And yeah, and I ain't gonna waste my energy, even though I know I could probably beat someone up. No, I'm probably just gonna shoot you first. Like, it's up to you. It's up to you.
And Jessica's making reference to a press conference the sheriff had, and somebody asked him, you caught somebody who shot a police officer, and why did you shoot him 75 times? I'm making the number up. He goes,
Yeah.
well, we would have
Just
done
close.
more, but we ran out of bullets.
Mhm.
He's so famous that people in Tampa sometimes will think he's our governor.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah, because his name is said so often.
Yeah, some people are like, "Oh man, he should run for president." I guarantee, man, like there's a lot of people that would
I'd
be
vote.
for him.
I'd vote for him. Absolutely. So, Jessica, how do you relax when you're not training? What are you doing? What's a chill day? Do you have chill days?
Oh man, that is probably the toughest thing about me, is that I don't rest. I do recover. Don't get me wrong. I've gotten really good, much better than I was in the beginning of my career on recovery and rest. But I am a go 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 kind of person, so it is very hard for me to relax. But if I do, and when I do, it's with my family. I do things at the house to recover and rest. My family and outdoor stuff, that's the main thing. If I'm doing anything to relax and just chill, anything outdoors does that for me.
So, like going to Gatorland and feeding the gators, where most people can't do that, would you be up for that?
Oh man, I literally used to wrestle gators when I grew up. I actually started with herpetology when I was growing up, so I love reptiles. But yeah, I mean, that's something a little bit more chill. It's more like a active rest day, and that's one thing that like I end up doing is active rest. But sometimes, I mean, I will just take a day just to chill and spend time with the family at the house, and that's probably the most rest you're gonna get out of me.
I'll set that up for after the fight. It's right up the street in Orlando, so we'll get the head PR guy to take you guys around, feed the gators.
Oh, thank you. My kids would love that.
I'll set it up, I promise. I don't want to talk about training. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff, but talk about your relationship with Dave Feldman and BKFC. How did it come about? I'm sure Dave, and you set this up very quickly, but talk us through that.
I honestly haven't got to, I have spoke with him a little bit, and I respect him a lot. Anytime that I've talked to him, he seems like a very genuine person. He always does what he says he's going to do. That means a lot to me. Like I said, like that, I really respect that out of people and out of a promoter, a owner and a promoter. He does everything. He juggles a lot of things. So I get how busy he is, and it's not easy to talk to him. But BKFC in general, like, I'm still fairly new with them. I'm still getting to learn them. There's a lot of changes being made and stuff like that. But I mean, so far, so good. We're waiting for a little bit more right now, but we'll see.
Before we let you go, and I don't know if Leslie or Matt, have a final question. Back to Sean and Tim Sylvia. Talk about your shirt, your tank top. You said how much you love the tank top.
Oh, yeah.
Were you involved in the design? Are there other designs coming? What's your plans?
Actually, it was not my idea. It was my husband's. But I liked it, and I was like, let's do it. And I do have my Halloween decoration here, if you can see that.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah.
That's
Little
cool.
rest in peace for Misfit.
You know,
That's
I was
awesome.
kind of wondering what are the big differences between the form of fighting and bare knuckle that you like? What drew you to it?
What was the difference in MMA and bare
Yes.
knuckle?
Yeah.
Honestly, ever since BKFC was reaching out to me long before I actually ever went to them, but I was under contract, so that's what took me a little bit longer to get to them. But I wanted to go since the start because I started out. If you look at my amateur fights, I was also winning, which most of even my pro fights are in the first round, but by knockout in Miami, it's like I was just aggressive, and I didn't have any stand up at the time. So I've always kind of had that style. And then I kind of got away with it whenever I started to become my school, my champions MMA, they're based on wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So my wrestling and jiu-jitsu got better, especially my
Isn't that
jiu-jitsu.
Ross? Isn't that
Yeah,
Ross?
Ross Kellen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been with him since the start. He's the one that sent me to Shift Combat. So I'm still with him technically for MMA and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But my Shift Combat team is who I'm with pretty much all the time now because that's all I do. But yeah, I got really good with my jiu-jitsu, and then I started kind of getting away from the stand-up. So and then I just went back to my stand-up, and here I am.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm excited. I'm excited for this fight. I'm wearing my Chuck Liddell King of Violence hat. I'm going to reach out to him to see if he can make a Queen of Violence and have it done in time for your fight. But we appreciate your time. We appreciate meeting you the other day. We'll be out there, a couple times before the fight, and I'm going to set that up for after the fight. You guys are going to go to Gatorland.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It was awesome to see you guys too, even though we made it look like it wasn't. Like, get out of here.
Well, the first time we shot it, I don't know if you know this. Yes, our new camera guy, he's our new social media director. Something happened, but I was like laughing when you came out. I'm like, I don't want to keep that one.
I saw.
It was bad. Jessica, again, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go hit a quick break. This is Knockout Radio coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility.
Hey, this is Mike Ditka, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terra Rivera. Plus, the first ever Queen of Violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Faria throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Patrick Waugh from the Colorado Avalanche, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we're back. I'm hanging out at the Cool Breeze AC Pinellas location. Matt, where's your dungeon?
I'm in North Hillsborough County, not far from Polk County, where the Black Widow Borga is from, but it's a different place over there. You don't play around in Polk County, and you don't play around in fighting. There's no playing in playing games in combat sports.
Well, it's not a game; it's a sport. Leslie, where is your bathroom? Where's that located?
I am in walking distance from Raymond James Stadium.
I don't know who put the Z's. I'm going to change that to bathroom
No.
location.
To what?
Where under your name it says Z. Somebody fell asleep while you were talking, so I'm going to change it to bathroom location.
Well, while we're talking about location,
You guys
while we're
pick
talking
on-
about while we're talking about locations, let's talk about this one. Berg Sports Bar, the longest sponsor of Knockout Radio, voted the #1 sports bar in the USA, which couldn't happen to a better guy, Mark Ferguson, especially with the Trop being destroyed after Hurricane Milton and the loss of revenue from the Rays having to play in Tampa, losing the home crowd and the events. So shout out to our guy, Mark Ferguson. We lose Randy there?
Yeah, I
We
think-
lost Randy.
Yeah, Fergs is a staple. It's definitely a staple for the community, you know. I mean, it really is. So, and they were, you know, here for a long time. It's going to continue to be.
Randy, you want to talk about your relationship with Mark and the Ferg Sports Bar?
Yeah, after you stop playing with the screen, what are
I'm
you
trying to
doing?
get you to be. I'm trying to make you big, dog.
Oh my God!
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, this is called dead air, guys.
Yeah, I know.
As we're playing with now, we're watching it, so we're engaged, but no one else can see what we're seeing unless they've got YouTube on.
There you go.
It's called dead air.
having a heart issue here just watching Matt operate. No, Mark Ferguson and Mick Ferrari are my two longest sponsors. They've been involved with me since I started. They're within probably days or weeks, so they're both my longest sponsor. Mark is awesome. Mark's always given us tickets to give away, given us gift certificates to give away, you know, fed celebrities when they've come in town, and he is a staple. I'm concerned what happens with the Rays. Will they stay in Pinellas County? Will they still build the stadium that they were going to build? If they go to Tampa, what will that do to Ferg Sports Bar? But always things going on there. They're working on possibly doing a card show. I've heard yay and nay, so we'll get details from Ryan Wessner when he's on in the third hour. The food's unbelievable. It's quick. It's easy. And if you're going to a game, going to a concert, going to WrestleMania, going to any events there, that is definitely one of my favorite hangouts. That's Ferg's.
Now, Leslie, as a meteorologist, recovering meteorologist, is it stupid for them to?
Recovering meteorologist.
Well,
Yeah,
but is it?
Milton, after being in Sarasota and in the studio at ABC7 and having a Cat 3 literally come over us, I would say, yeah, I'm probably recovering. That's good.
But is it a stupid idea to replace the roof of the Trop during hurricane season? We haven't even hit the peak. If I remember correctly, Milton hit like October, like the first week of October.
Yeah.
So we've still got another 4 or 5 weeks of peak hurricane season. Should they have waited till November to start?
Well, construction in general you should probably be done in your drier months. November is actually can be pretty dry as well as April. So, but you never know. There's so much damage all over the place. So maybe it's just, it's hard to. We don't know what's going on with them. We don't know scheduling and why they're doing it when they're doing it. They got to get it done. But no, I would not do construction. You would think. During towards the peak of hurricane season, just because it gets so wet and so forth. But remember, this is kind of unprecedented what happened last year. We have been seeing more hurricanes in the west central area of Florida. You look at Ian, it was just the year before, and what it did to southern Sarasota County. But as far as Tampa being hit, it can happen, but as we know, it usually doesn't. So with Helene and all the water damage and the flooding and the storm surge and then the winds with Milton, we got a double whammy. So hopefully we won't have something like that again, but the waters are so warm, guys. The temperatures, as we know, it's warmer here in Tampa. I mean, my electric bill was $300. That's crazy. The past 2 months it hit $300, and I have a small house. It's a 221, and it was like 1,300 feet or something. And that's how high my electric bill is, just because of the heat out there.
Speaking of heat, let's look ahead to the heat this weekend. Bring it back to UFC, MMA, Combat World, the UFC in Paris this weekend. Give me your thoughts, Matt.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, you definitely know something about it because we've had a fighter or two on.
Well,
One
Brad Tavares is fighting on the card, and
early. Yeah, he's like early. I think he's first or second on the fight card, so you can get on a plane and get back to the country, I guess.
I don't remember the sound bite, but I believe it was John Jones who was acquitted of his car crash charges from February. So congrats to John Jones for staying free. But I believe he said when he fought Sir Gagne, he said that he was going to win the fight, the heavyweight fight, because the French are notorious for quitting and surrendering. Just it's in their DNA to be quitters. So it's the only thing I really know about France. That they're a whole nation full of quitters.
Well, there's plenty of
there's
things
quitters
like that.
And then there's losers. They actually,
They surrender. They got the white flag. They're like waving the towel. It's like the Steelers. It's like the.
They give them some credit. They did basically found England.
French
William the Conqueror, 1066 of Normandy and so forth. They were French, so the people actually put together England as a whole country. French.
So is the John Jones dig better or worse than the Matt Hughes dig at Canada back in the day when he was getting ready to fight GSP? And at the press conference, he said that he just started a new hobby, that he's collecting vintage war rifles. And he has picked up 2 Canadian vintage war rifles, never shot.
Wow. I think the French surrendering is classic.
So horrible to the French. Look,
I'm French. That's what's messed up. I'm from Provence, France. My family's from France. Well, actually,
last week he was Brazilian.
No.
Before, when Brad was on, he was Hawaiian.
So my daughter has a school project, so she's doing her ancestry. So my wife has been helping. We've bought out the family Bible. We've been going through the marriage certificates. Like, not me. I didn't do it. My wife did it with my daughter. And I found out that I have family members who were actually fought in the Revolutionary War, also in the Civil War. So I don't know if I'm entitled to like VA benefits or any kind of military perks, for being basically
bragging rights. Bragging rights.
A patriot,
Hold on. What bragging rights does he have?
We kind of protect.
Being a son of the American
Revolution,
called the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Zero.
And
he has no bragging rights about that.
I'm actually can be a member of it. You have to be a direct descendant of someone who, it has to be like my grandfather who fought in the war, or great grandfather. So
I don't think it was your grandfather.
Yeah, I can join. Randy
was in the War of 1812. Tell him about it, Randy. Randy, talk about your service and what you did there.
Poor Randy.
Were you guys on the Mayflower? Where were you at? Were you on the Pinta,
I was on the Santa Maria.
Oh,
I was at the buffet. They had great crab legs and shrimp on that boat.
Along with a big cup of scurvy and plague.
Or Diet Coke. They had Diet Coke back then. So there was nothing wrong with that. But UFC in Paris, big WrestleMania or wrestling event, not WrestleMania. I don't know if you guys watch or, if you followed or whatever, but give me your thoughts, if either one of you have thoughts, on the turn again of John Cena. So, he was legendary. Some say the GOAT. I disagree. Then they had him turn heel. I understand that it was more with The Rock was supposed to be involved in that, and one of the rappers was supposed to be involved in that. And when it didn't, then now they've switched him back. Do you think that helps, changes, or do either one of you guys even care?
One, I don't care, but I'm just going to say I don't think you go one way and then flip back. If you're going to go heel, then you stay heel. I just think it lessens the impact. It kind of makes it look cheesier. And not that wrestling isn't built on cheese, but it just doesn't work for me.
Matthew?
Nobody cares. And I think John Cena is a bigger heel in real life when you try to take a video of him while he's walking through airports or eating restaurants. He he snaps on people. Just, and I get it. I mean, he's tired of the spotlight, but
No,
that's the cost of being a celebrity,
it's not
to have
okay.
the life that he has,
It's not okay.
So I get it that it can be annoying for him, but he chose that life.
Look, how
And
many other people don't act that way that are famous? You don't
Sure.
have like people like Brad Pitt snapping at people and stuff, and he's way more famous than John Cena. You don't hear stories about that. It's a lack of appreciation when you treat your fans and your public.
It's entitlement. He thinks, and I used to work with someone that did his hair, and she told me that she wasn't allowed to talk to him. She wasn't allowed to do, and that's BS. I would go out of my way to go and try to film him walking in public. I'll be honest with you.
I wish
Brandon's always trying to get beat up, by the way. Usually every story starts with, well, I met this guy and listen what happened. I was going to get beat up. And then he goes into the story.
Yeah,
I wish he
and
was
I'd
a little.
like to make him a good friend.
I wish Cena was a little bit more like Epstein. Like just never knew a stranger.
God,
Loved everybody.
I loved everybody that was not of age.
I'm not even making a comment on that.
I know.
Go ahead.
When you're in public, whether you're a public figure or not, you're in public. So
Yeah.
there's nothing illegal. I would understand to a certain extent, if you're harassing him, you're trying to get an autograph, you're trying to stop him to get a picture, and he says, "Hey, dude, enough, get away from me."
Yeah, like Tyson on the plane.
Yeah, exactly. When you're enticing that, you're in public. I'm going to take a photo and then I'm going to delete it. And I just hope you get mad. It's so stupid. It really bothers me that he acts that way. But you're right. He's more a heel in public than he is in script.
Yeah, he's asking for it too when he he kind of puts that out there. But it's just the entire reason that John Cena, as Matt was kind of alluding to, has his life that he has is because of the public. It is because of the fans. You remove them, and so he is disrespecting the core that put him where he's at.
I agree.
That's my opinion. I don't think
Do you guys know who the comedian Shane Gillis is?
Yes.
No.
So
Shockingly,
Shane,
because of my son, I do.
so Shane has a stand-up special on Netflix where it's called "Beautiful Dogs," is the name of the special, and in it he has family members who have Down syndrome. He has, genetically it nicked him. It didn't get him all the way, but he has some genes.
I've seen that.
And he talks about how Down syndrome's people, they love two things. They love John Cena, like unquestionably, John Cena is their guy, and they love women's anatomies. But that's it. So it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you gotta go check it out. But John Cena, he does the most Make-A-Wish foundations. I mean, he does the most charity of all celebrities when it comes to like Make-A-Wish, which is shocking that in public, in a real life, he would be that way when he has a charitable heart.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely agree, and I have no time for that. Not that anybody cares, but I would like to run across them in a mall. I truly would.
He seems to me, John Cena at this point in life seems to me like he should be hosting a game show. Really. That's right.
He does. He does do a game show.
I did not know this. Which one is it?
It's the one where you run. It's like an obstacle course, like Wicked or Whack or something like I forget what it's called. It's like you run on and a punch comes out of the wall and tries to knock you into the water.
Oh my gosh! So it's even a really bad game show.
Yeah, Whipped or something like that.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't because I'm not really not following what he's doing now. But so then
he should host. He should host hide and seek. Like professional hide and seek because you can't see them.
And don't kid yourself. I was going to say, that's one of your stupider comments, but I'm sure you've seen that there's now a tag obstacle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they run around and
that's intense.
Yeah.
To be a professional tag player, you have to be in incredible shape. I mean, those guys are incredible athletes. But yeah, professional hide and seek.
These games.
Where was your best hiding spot as a kid?
I used to climb up in the closet, and I would get on the very top shelf, and I'll put like comforters at the so you couldn't see, and I would sit up there for hours. My mom had no idea if I was home, if I was in the house.
What's up with us? I had two. I went into a laundry hamper. It's like it would open up and I could climb inside it and then I would pop, but it just went like this. So I could pop it open. And then same thing, I'd put like clothes and stuff on me and I'd be inside the laundry hamper.
How long were you in that hamper until either you got out or you were found?
Oh, I was never found. I was never found.
Let me explain something to both of you. Okay. I know for a fact, because I've spoken to Matt's parents. They knew where Matt was all the time. They pretended like they didn't, so he would stay out of their way for hours.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they were very smart in parroting.
Maybe they knew where I was too, but it would be funny when I'd be down there in it, and then someone would open and throw a towel in or something.
Pretty funny. All right, let's go hit our second break, and we'll come back and close this bad boy out. And got some cool stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about giving away. Did you guys notice the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the U.S. Navy hat today. It's the King of Violence, Chuck Liddell. We'll talk about that, start of the NFL season, and a whole lot more. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Center.
John Owen, you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and
talk about the Bucks at some
staffing
point
throughout the Southeast,
game?
Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City.
I got
Kansas City,
my
and many
brown
other
shirt on
locations.
just
Staff Zone
because
has plenty of work for you. And
Charlie
they need you now.
is playing-
Don't wait. Go to
Thursday night against the Cowboys.
www.com and find a branch closest to
I
you.
talked about him in the locker room.
Get paid today. That's the Staff
did?
Zone way.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd that go? You talked to that guy?
We'll talk about that off the air.
Where
Oh,
fantasy
okay.
meets cutting-edge technology.
Yeah, I
We
didn't
create
know where he said he
breathtaking
wanted to
3D
go.
printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and
Well, we're
minds.
live.
From the
so just be
T-Rex to
careful
the
what's-
dragons and the shark to the
Come on,
crocodile.
Gary, what's
Every
up?
fantasy pet
Oh,
is a
okay.
testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request
So yeah, we're
custom
still
designs
streaming,
and
and
bulk
then at the top of
pricing
the hour, we're
as
going to
well.
end the
Go
stream.
to
We're not going to disconnect anybody. We're
That's
just going to end the stream and then start the
fantasypets.com.
stream back up.
This is Randy
That should
Harris
work,
for
right, Matt?
Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our
Matt.
official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment with
Yes.
staff and talented
Yeah.
professionals
Yeah,
in
so
the
we don't
business.
need to log
Visit
everybody
Pick for
off
Hair
and
at
log it
Got
off.
Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
This is Longest Brown, and you're talking sports with Randy, the Monster Jam Man.
All right, we're back. Final segment of hour number one of today's episode of Knockout Radio. And I just want everybody to be aware how serious I take Knockout Radio.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, Matt, you're the only one other than my wife knows this. So I'm having a couple of issues. I have to go have some stress tests done, some heart stuff done, blah, 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 blah. And I'm trying to move it up as soon as possible because it's a little alarming. So I called and they said, well, we could get you in at 10:45 on Wednesday. My appointment is scheduled for the end of the month. And I said, no, I can't do it. So I wanted to be here to do this radio show and not get that done.
But I think you should have done the show live from the doctor's office.
I don't know about that.
Like to see like a transgender procedure go down, like to see to go through the process for equality, for Leslie would be supportive. I would be supportive.
Yeah. You know what?
I would love to see you.
Randy would finally win a sport.
Yeah. Well, no, because the greatest man of all time, Bruce Jenner, is still a woman. So Caitlyn's the greatest female of all time.
She's aged out.
No,
Caitlin's
she's
great.
not.
Yeah,
She's a
Randy
decathlon
Jr.
winner. That's the greatest athlete of all time.
That's not
So-
true. Caitlyn Jenner has never, well, I'm sure that Caitlyn Jenner has played a sport, but Caitlyn Jenner never won a gold medal. And
Okay.
if you think that they have, then we've got bigger problems, bigger issues.
Do you think that you could beat Caitlyn in a sport, Randy, in any sport? Do you think you versus Caitlyn Jenner could you win?
Well, it
Because
depends
she
on what,
genetically, biologically, she was a man. So she's still got the same strength as a man biologically.
that's true.
No,
That's
well,
true.
hold on, guys. You're forgetting that no, she's taking hormones and stuff. And when you take hormones and things like that, it does change your strength levels.
It's true.
Gives you estrogen, so you're not quite the same. But there's muscle memory, okay, and things like that. So it's a mixture. You know, your muscles don't forget, especially when you were Bruce Jenner. You know what I mean? And for those of you who weren't around when Bruce was around, you don't get much more pristine as an athlete in his prime.
So let's play a game. Let's play a game, Randy.
I'm going to say yes. But go ahead.
Let's name a sport, and then Leslie, you tell me is who wins, Randy or Caitlyn? Let's go pole vault.
Oh, yeah, Caitlyn,
I agree.
Let's go.
without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, because Caitlyn's great on the pole.
Let's go. Let's go. Basketball.
Oh, basketball. Oh man, I'm gonna say Caitlyn. She's got the height too. Sorry, Randy.
Well, 1-on-1, we don't know, how she's going to run around in heels. But how about I'll throw a couple of them out. I'll throw a couple sports out, and you tell me.
Okay.
Cornhole.
Ooh.
That air's not good.
Randy, I'll give
yeah.
Randy cornhole. Randy.
I'll take me in cornhole.
I don't know. She's been focused on holes lately. I mean, I think she's going to find the center.
Darts. Darts.
Darts. Ooh,
You got to bring up. You got to
Randy,
bring.
I'm going Randy on darts.
Yeah, you
I'll
got to
go
bring
Randy.
up sports that's not obviously, Caitlyn.
Athletically inclined. Like
Golf.
nothing athletic. Nothing physically athletic.
What about golf?
Ooh, golf.
Well, she gets to tee off a lot closer, but
Yeah, she gets the
not
tee off in
really
the.
So I'm
That's
going Caitlyn.
No, maybe Randy. Well, no, because high hurdles, she would have an advantage if she still. Well, she kept them or not, But if you don't have a clearance issue, she's definitely going to win high hurdles.
Honestly, I think because of just the muscle memory and just the mental memory and the drive and everything, I still think Caitlyn probably would be a badass athlete. I really do. I might give Randy swimming because if you're heavier, you'll float more.
What about vehicular homicide? I think nope.
It's not a
Never
sport unless it's NASCAR.
It could be a sport. Some people treat it as a sport. Some people do it deliberately.
You watched Mike Perry's DB3. Tell us about it.
I like the first setup of it. I like the fact that initially it felt like an underground in a basement Fight Club-ish, cloudy, hazy, a little bit. Like you had to be especially invited to know about it. This one seemed more like a traditional ring with lighting and production. And so I didn't really like the change. I liked the initial kind of vibe. But the fights, the knockouts were brutal. You got the stars come out, Shaq and Nate Diaz. And so, he's got the star power to bring the people out, which makes it alluring and fun to watch as a spectator. I thought the commentary was a little, there. John Anik's brother, so it was like a knockoff. They call it dupe in the cosmetic world when you have like the name brand, but then you have an off-brand knockoff that they try to pass off as like trendy or cool. So so it kind of like, it wasn't like your stars that came out for like the commentary production side, but yet, it's got a lot of potential. It has a ton of potential.
So let me jump in, and I know I'm trying to keep it sports related, but you just brought up about got duped. So I want both of your opinions. If anybody's listening on the YouTube channel, If anybody's listening at the Tan Talk Radio Network or Knockout Radio, I'm being serious. I want your honest opinion on this. So I bought tickets to go see a show in Las Vegas. It's a character. Okay, now I didn't necessarily think of this person. Screw it, I'm going to say who it is. It's Tape Face, who was on America's Got Talent. I've always wanted to go see him. I was in Vegas not too long ago.
Who's this? What's his name? Nate?
Tape
Face.
Tape Face. TAPEFACE. Tape Face.
Okay.
All right, and his whole gimmick is he has a duct tape taped his mouth closed.
And you paid for this?
No, I got him on VetTix.
Okay.
So I was prepared to go, and then through a mutual friend, I found out that his understudy was going to go do it the night that I was going. And I decided not to go. I wanted to go see Tape Face. So A, was I right or wrong? And B, when it's in character like that, and I understand, because some people and I have talked about it, when you go see Jabberwockies, you don't know who they are. They're all covered in their faces, blah, 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 blah. When you go see Blue Man Group, they could be interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. But because I wanted to see the Tape Face that was on America's Got Talent, I kind of felt duped. Give me your thoughts.
First of all, I can't believe that this guy can make money putting duct tape on his face. Okay.
Well, I don't know his show. You know, I saw a couple things that he did. It's Matt only with talent. You know, stupid humor, that kind of stuff.
I agree with. I think because it's like a comedian. Tape Face is kind of, you know, it's the guy. It's not the show. Like if I'm going to go see Wicked, you know, and the main woman is not in it, or let's say if Ariana Grande is. That's why I'm going to go see it. You know, I might go see it anyway, but I'm going to be really bummed because I bought the ticket, say, for Ariana Grande. Like, let's say if it was on Broadway.
But and I know we've got a break here in about 8 minutes, but hold on. But let me ask you this. So if you're going to go to Wicked and she's the main character and they have understudies all the time, shouldn't you be able to get a refund? Shouldn't you? You're going because you're promoting that's who's the main event. That's the main star.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going for the entertainment, right?
They don't announce it before. They usually announce it. But the reason that she wouldn't be there, it's very rare. I mean, it would be because the person is ill. I mean, you know, on Broadway and stuff, or in advance.
My point was more, I thought Dirty Boxing had a great vibe that was so new and edgy with the underground like flair that they tried to make it look like a UFC, but they didn't have the UFC money to buy a Bruce Buffer and a Cormier and a Joe Rogan, and so it was kind of like a knockoff version of like the UFC, and I wish they would have just stayed authentic and true to what it was when they first started with the whole underground vibe, and gone more Fight Club and special invite only, and you're lucky if you even got a chance to see it. So I wish they would go back to more of that style. But it's got a lot of potential. I think it has a ton of potential.
And that's what I liked when I went out to Slap Fight. You know, Slap Fight was in a warehouse. It was small. There was 30 people there. It was by invite only. They didn't sell tickets. You know, and I liked that feel over Slap that I'm going to in a couple of weeks in Vegas, which is in one of the big hotels. It's sold out. VIP sections with buffets, and it's just two totally different vibes, but they're both good and cool.
Now, speaking of Vegas, Randy, have you heard of Celebrity Poker Tour?
Yeah.
So, apparently,
I could beat. Hold on. I'll take Caitlin in poker.
Ooh.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, well, you would take her in poker, wouldn't you?
In a poker tournament, in a card game tournament.
You want a poker? That's nice. But in the Celebrity Poker Tour, would you like to guess which UFC former champion was removed from the set for drinking too much? Was asked to leave because he couldn't control his alcohol?
Michael Bisping.
Think smaller.
Didn't you say big name?
Yeah, but small person.
Oh, I don't know. Who?
Come on.
You mean height-wise? Is that what you mean?
Maybe one of the greatest nicknames possibly, if he would have won his last fight, the greatest nickname of all nicknames in all of combat sports had he had followed through. And he announced it on Knockout Radio Live from the Super Bowl. Nope. From the Super Bowl.
I'm not playing this stupid game.
Yeah, what is it? What is the name? We're all
Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo was removed for not being able to control his alcohol on set.
You just said that he had the greatest nickname.
Yeah.
He was C3, and if he would have won the last fight, he would have been C4. Explosive. 3 different championship division belt titles plus an Olympic gold medal. C4 would have been the greatest nickname of all combat sports of all time.
No, I'll still say Uncle Creepy is a better nickname than that. Maybe
C4,
not a better
baby.
fighter. Maybe not a better fighter. Maybe not a better legacy.
I'll go Creepy.
C4. Explosive, baby.
Leslie just said she's going Creepy.
Yeah, no doubt.
She knows nothing about combat sports.
Well, she wasn't talking sports.
Yeah, but I know everything about nicknames. Okay, Bozo. And it would
I think Uncle Creepy is Epstein's nickname on the island.
I feel like I've got to get beat up once to really know about combat sports, but I'm learning.
It'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be helpful.
I got beat up when I was a kid, but I used to fight back. If they had more like I took karate. You know what I would do? I would go to, because our neighborhood was rough. I would go to school like in the 4th and 5th grade.
They fought with forks and spoons.
This is what I would do. I fought with guys all the time. I would punch and run. I'd punch and then run. Well, I never started a fight, but I was in fights all the time. And so I would hold a bunch of karate books and kung fu books in my arm, and I would walk to and from, and I would walk around school. So what happened? See, it was all mental. They all thought, don't mess with Double L there because she knows karate.
Because she knows how to read.
Yeah.
Or we'll get a paper cut if we punch her. We're gonna get a paper cut.
She knows how to look. She knows how to look at pictures and books.
This is what I did because I hated to fight. But I was in fights all the time, and I would stick up for people who were getting picked on. It was true. And then I'd find myself in a fist fight with a boy. So I would wait, and I would get one punch in, guys. I'd bust the lip. I did it all the time. Bust their lip, and then I would run. So then I'd see their face and get red, and then they'd chase me, but I could outrun. And I'd run because then what would happen is the next day, it was all psychological. The next day we get back at school, and they'd have a busted lip, and I wasn't, and they fought Leslie. So like, don't mess with Leslie. See, I had it all down.
All right, Leslie. So you versus Caitlin in a boxing match. Who wins?
Well, I don't hit girls, so Caitlin.
All right, Randy versus Caitlin in a boxing match.
Hold on. Why won't you hit girls?
Because they're pretty.
Okay. God, that's a dumb answer.
You asked.
Wow.
I don't hit girls. No, I just never. I never really. I fought one girl because she broke line. Listen, her name was Alicia Miller. And this was in the 5th grade, and I was the 2nd or 3rd tallest girl in the school. And she cut line. I was like, Alicia, you can't do that. You know, I'm always sticking up. I was always like, must have been on the spectrum. I'd be like, no, you can't do that. You can't cut. There's all these people. And, you know, she pushed me, and I put up my dukes. And this is what happened. It was over in 2 seconds. You know why? Alicia Miller roundhouse kicked me in the eye. In the 5th grade. Roundhouse kicked me in the eye. And I knew it a roundhouse because I've been studying my karate. It was unbelievable.
You should have used the book to block the kick.
I'm gonna roundhouse kick this first hour. So let's end this hour. We're gonna hit the top of the hour break. We'll be back in about 4:01.
Blocked.
All right, this is Wes